Now, let's go to one of our leading stories. The Inkatha Freedom Party is preparing to launch its election manifesto on Sunday. Newzroom Afrika's senior politics reporter Ziyanda Ngcobo joins us live now ahead of this evening's gala. Ziyanda, it seems like all systems go, choppers galore and all.
That's right, and the election campaign trail is well underway, Amasa. And so this evening is the pre-manifesto launch where we are going to get, hopefully, Narend Singh, the IFP national chair, a teaser of what's to come from the IFP. Your president earlier on telling me that this manifesto that will be delivered on Sunday is going to speak to the reality of South Africans and also provide solutions.
Absolutely. Good evening to you and to all your viewers. And it's chairperson of the National Campaign Committee, in case my national chair thinks I'm taking his role. Well, it's an exciting evening for us. It's 36 hours to our manifesto launch. And as President Slavisha said earlier on to you and to your viewers, we are going to be placing on the table issues that we believe resonate with South Africans. The crime situation in our country, the issue of corruption, the issue of load shedding, the issue of good governance, the issue of building the economy. But what we will be offering is solutions and our views on how we can get these things sorted out, because we believe that the current government has failed the people of South Africa hopelessly, and there's time for change, and we believe that we can do very well in filling that slot that they will leave behind.
It's been a couple of months since your founding president has passed away. Many are wondering why you still have his face all over your branding for the elections. I was at the airport, in fact, and I saw #DoItForShenge. Are you still relying heavily on the brand of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi to try and garner votes? Or have you also been able to crystallize a plan going forward in his now demise?
Well, we've dedicated this election to Shanga, and deservedly so, because we believe his legacy needs to be preserved. And the best way we can preserve his legacy and do justice to what Shanga did for us for the last 45 years, to the IFP and for the country, is to come back with a resounding victory. And we know that a number of people, not only in KwaZulu-Natal but in South Africa, when they hear of Shanga, they words like trustworthy, honest, good governance, etc. come to mind, and we want to follow in his footsteps and emulate what he did over the number of years that he was involved in the political arena.
We're in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, which is the IFP's stronghold, in particular in the northern parts of this province. But there are newcomers here, and there was lots of talk of how the IFP is likely to garner votes of disillusioned ANC members. But now there's a new kid on the block called Mangosuthu Party. How concerned are you about your maintenance of your stronghold here in KwaZulu-Natal?
We're not really concerned. I mean, there will be many parties contesting this election, and as you said, they're just another party there, and we wish them luck. But we believe that we've got our core base, and we've gone beyond our base, especially in the eThekwini area and other areas in KwaZulu-Natal, where people are beginning to realize that the way KwaZulu-Natal was governed from 1994 to 2004 for 10 years is the way it should be governed post-2024.
But the difference this time is that it's a former ANC president who's quite popular, and you'll know his role in bringing about peace in this province. So surely, in terms of your internal polling, there is some kind of dent that might be caused by Mangosuthu, which would have been something that the IFP capitalized on, no?
No, the electorate will decide, but at the end of the day, if you look at Mangosuthu, I mean, there are people from the ANC. And we will be telling the electorate that we have a record of good governance. We have governed before, they have not. They contested some by-elections recently, and although they did relatively well, but they're not well enough to win those by-elections, and we won all of them, even taking seats away from the ANC. So I think it'll be healthy competition between all of us, but what we are hoping for is that more and more South Africans would come to the polls and exercise their right to vote, because as you know, we don't get a very good turnout at the election, but this time round we're expecting a much bigger and better turnout, so that is something that we want to capitalize on as well.
The IFP also forms part of that multi-party charter, and you've also gotten into a coalition agreement with the Democratic Alliance. Is this agreement still in place, in particular for the province of KwaZulu-Natal? What is the agreement there? If the IFP has a resounding victory, will that fall away?
Well, we won't throw friends away. We don't have a written agreement, but we've got a very good understanding between all the parties that make up the multi-party charter that if we can garner 50% plus votes, either at national level or at any province, then we will form the government of the day.
Narend Singh, a senior IFP member there, who's a part of the big delegation here at the Nkosi Albert Luthuli Convention Center, where there's going to be that pre-manifesto launch, still using the face of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi by and large for their campaign trail. Even that chopper that was hovering over the Durban CBD earlier today, the figure of Buthelezi looming large, because the IFP says they've dedicated this election to its founding President Masa.
Do you think perhaps this will pull at the heartstrings of some of those voters in that region that's hotly contested? We saw at the same venue as well the EFF launching their manifesto there, as well as the ANC. But the IFP being able to use that figure of the late Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, do you think it'll have that much of an impact perhaps?
Well, as you would have heard my guest, Masa, he did speak on that, which was exactly on the issue of the values that they believe Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi espoused, being trustworthy. You'll know that the tagline for the IFP is "Trust Us, Setembe," and so they're keeping in line with that kind of branding, and so certainly most likely to be resounding with their previous, voters. However, this election hinges a lot on young people, getting those young people who were unregistered, who are now registered, as we sit at over 27 million registered voters, getting those people to vote for the IFP and making sure that on election day, whilst they're registered, that on the actual day, the 29th of May, that they come out to vote and vote for their party.